Christian under scrutiny, Quincy being mocked and scorned, the girls now being implicated into home in the SA with their father by a girl who worked the white parties. Like, this is a lot.
What if the kids we thought were innocent knew everything all along? For years, Diddy ruled the music industry like a king, untouchable, unstoppable, and always one step ahead. But now, that empire is crumbling fast, and the fallout isn't just landing on him. It's dragging everyone connected to him into the fire, his closest friends, former artists, assistants, all under scrutiny. But the shocker? Even his own children are getting caught in the crossfire. Especially the one daughter people swore was too sweet, too sheltered, too good to be involved. Chance Combs, the so-called innocent one, quiet, elegant, raised mostly by her mother and barely seen in the spotlight. The one girl who looked like she was kept far from Diddy's madness might actually be the one holding more secrets than anyone expected. And if you listen to Jaguar Wright, she's not just playing the innocent card. She's part of the performance.
Why? And they didn't choose it. They were born into this. I don't think anybody's paying attention to that. The choice that they got. If that man calls and say, I need you to do this, I need you to do that, what else are they going to do? They gotta bet on him. I'm sure they're all praying he makes it, because if not, what are they going to do? And they definitely can't count on Grandma Janice. They're screwed. One way or the other, they're screwed.
Because behind the designer clothes, red carpet smiles, and public loyalty, Diddy's kids might have been hiding the truth in plain sight. And now, the internet is connecting dots Diddy never wanted revealed. Let's rewind the clock and break down how deep this mess really goes. Diddy doesn't just have one or two kids, he's got 7. And the story behind how they came into this world, that's where the chaos starts. First up is Justin Dior Combs, born in 1993 to Misa Hilton, a fashion stylist. Back then, Diddy was still building his empire, but he was far from settled down, especially not with Kim Porter, the woman most people associate with his long-term relationship. Then came Christian Combs in 1998, Kim Porter's biological son and Diddy's so-called golden child. Raised in the spotlight as the heir to Bad Boy Records, Christian grew up draped in privilege and surrounded by fame. But even during this era of supposed stability, Diddy was rumored to be creeping again and again. Then came 2006, and that year, everything exploded. That's when Chance Combs was born, the third daughter to a woman named Sarah Chapman. Not a celebrity, not an industry name, just a woman nobody knew. Until the scandal dropped. The twist? Chance was born just 5 months before Kim gave birth to twins, Jesse and Delilah. 2 women, pregnant at the same time. And Diddy tried to keep Chance a secret for as long as he could. Kim Porter had no idea about Chance until after her own twins were born. And when she found out, that was the final straw. She packed her bags and walked away for good. And here's where things get even darker. Rumors swirl for years that Kim was working on a tell-all book, the kind that could destroy reputations and expose everything. But before it ever saw the light of day, Kim tragically passed. And according to multiple sources, her phone and laptop mysteriously vanished afterward. Coincidence? Some folks don't think so. Fast forward to 2022. Diddy shocks the world again by announcing the birth of another daughter, Love, Sean Combs, with a woman named Dana Tran, a cybersecurity specialist. No celebrity connection, no public relationship, just boom, another baby out of nowhere. And the worst part, Diddy was dating Young Miami publicly at the time. She had no clue the baby even existed. And let's not forget Quincy Brown, born in 1991, Kim Porter's son from a previous relationship. Diddy raised him like his own and eventually adopted him. He stayed loyal to the Combs name ever since. So when you lay it all out, that's 7 kids, 4 mothers, overlapping pregnancies, secret births, and more drama than a whole season of reality TV. And now, with the heat closing in on Diddy, all of those kids are getting pulled into the fire, and trust the worst is yet to come. It didn't take long for the spotlight to start burning Diddy's sons, and what's coming to light is way darker than anyone expected. Let's start with Justin Dior Combs, the oldest. For a while, Justin was known as the chill, polished son. He played football, went to UCLA, showed up in photos with his dad, the whole polished image. But that clean-cut reputation, it didn't last. Justin was named as a co-defendant in the explosive lawsuit accusing Diddy of running what's being called an industry-wide ex-trade ring that alone would have been enough to send shockwaves. But it gets worse. Justin is also facing a separate lawsuit tied to an incident from 2017. According to those court filings, he allegedly orchestrated a gang-related assault by luring someone in with promises of an industry job and then letting things spiral. We're talking about serious allegations, not just youthful mistakes. And while that storm was brewing, Diddy's golden child, Christian Combs, was facing his own demons. In late 2022, a yacht stewardess filed a lawsuit claiming Christian spiked her drink, groped her, and pressured her into acts aboard a luxury yacht that Diddy himself had chartered. And if that wasn't enough, she went on record to say Diddy helped create the exact kind of environment where something like that could happen unchecked to sons. 2 major lawsuits, and both tied directly to their father, not just by blood, but by name, reputation, and lifestyle. What started as the perfect father-son empire is now unraveling into accusations, court documents, and whispers that the boys weren't just innocent bystanders, they may have been participants. And the public, they're no longer buying the polished image, because behind the designer clothes, flashy cars, and Instagram posts, a different story was unfolding. But as bad as it looks for the boys, they're not the only ones in the hot seat, because next up, the twins, and what people are saying about them might change everything you thought you knew. For a long time, Jessie and Delilah, the twins, were seen as the glam girls of the Combs family, the fashion-forward daughters, daddy's favorites, always front and center matching outfits, perfect smiles, red carpet ready. They performed with Diddy at the VMAs, showed up in countless YouTube videos, and had the kind of visibility that none of Diddy's other daughters ever got, especially Chance, who seemed to be pushed off to the sidelines. But now, people are starting to ask serious questions, because while the twins have been publicly defending their father, even showing up in court to stand by him, rumors are swirling that they may have played a much darker role behind the scenes. One name keeps coming up: Ava Combs. Now, while details are scarce and nothing has been officially confirmed, online whispers suggest the twins might have pressured Ava to stay silent when speculation started building about her being used by Diddy.
Recording, and we're gonna take our cousin Kwai and our chef Ava. You guys all know her and remember her and ask about her every day, so you get to see her. Yay! But yeah, we can get ready for that soon. Hey guys, so we're with Ava and Clyde. We're going horseback riding. Yeah. We're on the way. Our appointment's at 3 and it's 2:17, so we kind of like hurry, but we'll be there at 2:57, so we're gonna be good. But we're
used in ways that have people deeply disturbed. According to these allegations, the twins weren't just silent observers. They were active participants in protecting the brand, keeping the family image clean by covering up what needed to be buried. One source claimed they showed Ava off to the public in a staged appearance, a PR move once people began asking too many questions about her sudden involvement in Diddy's world, even though no hard evidence has surfaced. Yet, social media sleuths are locked in, and they're pointing to the twins' behavior, calling it arrogant, entitled, and just a little too perfect. They walk into courtrooms like it's a runway. Their body language, dismissive. Their vibe, unbothered. And in a time when their entire family is under fire, the attitude is rubbing people the wrong way. Fast, what was once seen as loyalty now looks like damage control. But while the twins are under fire for what they might have done, the girl who's been out of the spotlight, the one Diddy barely showcased, is now being looked at in a whole new light, because the so-called innocent one might be the most calculated of them all. For years, Chance Combs was seen as the outlier, the sweet, reserved daughter who stayed far from the drama. Unlike her siblings, she wasn't front and center in the spotlight. She wasn't walking red carpets or performing on stage. She wasn't trending, and that's exactly why people thought she was clean. She was the good girl, the soft-spoken one raised mostly under her mother's care, far from Diddy's media circus. While the twins were in matching designer fits and taking over events, Chance was quietly living her life on the edge of the chaos, But now, people are starting to question if that quiet was part of a carefully crafted image, because when you look closer, the neglect starts to feel strategic. And the innocence? Almost to perfect. Let's break it down. Diddy's relationship with Chance has always looked different. Unlike the twins, who got the spotlight and career boost music videos, performances, brand deals, Chance got none of it. He didn't post her much, didn't take her to events, didn't include her in those viral daughter moments he constantly shared. He even has multiple YouTube videos celebrating the twins, their achievements, their bond. But in all those uploads, Chance is nowhere to be seen.
Let me move my way. Let me sleep all day. At the time I pray I'll be missing you. Get about your seat.
Even when it came to the VMAs, it was the twins up on stage with him, not Chance. And yet, we know Diddy's got the power to make anything happen. So why hasn't he boosted her like he did the others? Well, here's the thing, he has, but in a different way. A couple of years back, Diddy took Chance to the Oscars, a massive stage, surrounded by Hollywood elites. She told him she wanted to be an actress, and that appearance was supposed to be her moment.
Sean, all the way on the end?
But since then, not one on-screen role, not a cameo, not a short film, nothing. Meanwhile, the twins, who want to be models, are getting booked left and right. Fashion shows, media pushes. Diddy's been moving mountains for them.
Jesse and Delilah Combs were one of the highlights of Miami Swim Week. The 16-year-old twins made an appearance at the Liberty and Justice fashion show.
So what gives? Some say it's favoritism. Others believe it's more psychological, that Diddy is intentionally creating emotional distance between Chance and the rest of the family, keeping her hungry for affection, making her chase approval, while the twins soak in luxury. And if that's the case, it paints a disturbing picture, one where Chance wasn't neglected. She was being conditioned, because a daughter who feels rejected will do anything to win her father's love. And that brings us to a chilling question: what if Chance's soft-spoken act isn't innocence, but survival? What if her silence, her distance, her good girl image is actually the most dangerous mask of all? And someone who saw straight through that mask, Jaguar Wright.
Look at fabulous, ladies.
Just when people started thinking Chance was the one untouched by Diddy's shadow, Jaguar Wright came through with a mic drop that flipped the entire narrative. If you don't know Jaguar, she's no stranger to controversy. She's the kind of person who doesn't flinch when speaking on the industry's darkest secrets, and she rarely holds back. So when she called out Diddy's kids, people paid attention, and her message was loud and clear: none of Diddy's children are innocent, especially not Chance. According to Jaguar, Chance's image as the quiet, sweet outsider is nothing more than a performance, a carefully crafted persona that actually helps protect Diddy. While the twins may draw attention with their flashy looks and red carpet walks, Chance, she says, plays the good daughter, someone the public naturally trusts, and that's what makes her so dangerous. Jaguar didn't mince words. She claimed that Chance is part of the act, that her silence and emotional distance aren't because she's sheltered, but because she's in on it. She said while the twins turn courtrooms into fashion shows and flaunt their access to fame, it's Chance who plays the innocent foil. She provides Diddy with a buffer and alibi in human form. When people look at her, they see purity. They see someone who couldn't possibly be involved, and that's exactly the point. Jaguar suggested that behind closed doors, Chance might be more aware than anyone realizes, quietly helping Diddy maintain a balanced public image, playing her role while avoiding the heat, not speaking up, not asking questions. just keeping the act going, because silence can be more powerful than denial, especially when it comes with a smile. And while Jaguar didn't drop receipts, her statements hit a nerve fast. Social media erupted with debates. Some called Jaguar out, saying she's reaching, but others, they started putting the puzzle pieces together, and suddenly the gaps in Chance's story started looking like intentional blind spots. Because when you combine the favoritism, the emotional neglect, and the strategic appearances, the story doesn't feel like innocence anymore. .it feels like a script, and the internet, they're watching her more closely now than ever. But what are people really saying? As Jaguar Wright's claims exploded across social media, the public did what they do best: connect the dots. And what started as messy family drama quickly transformed into a full-blown psychological breakdown of how Diddy might have raised his daughters, not just with favoritism, but with control. One viral theory took off fast, and it's chilling. It claims Diddy intentionally divided his daughters emotionally by placing the twins on a pedestal: red carpets, YouTube features, fashion shows, and keeping Chance quietly in the background. He created internal competition, one side basking in attention, the other quietly chasing it. The theory? Diddy didn't ignore Chance by accident. He was training her. One commenter broke it down like this: his third daughter is beautiful, maybe even more than the twins, and that's a threat to the image he's trying to build. So he pits her against them, keeps her starved for affection. That way, she'll do anything to get his approval. Another theory builds on that idea that the twins were given everything so they'd never question him: fame, appearances, praise. And they watched their sister, Chance, get left behind, not included, barely seen, and that fear of rejection, it keeps them in line too. The twins know what happens when you fall out of favor. You get silenced, like Chance. And Chance, she's stuck trying to prove herself. That dynamic keeps all of them controlled without anyone realizing it. But then came the most disturbing take of all. These little B words are down with it too. They had me fooled real good. Not no more. They should all go to jail. That comment hit a nerve because suddenly it wasn't just about whether Diddy manipulated his daughters. It was about whether they participated in maintaining the image, whether they played their roles knowingly or not in keeping the machine running. And when you step back, it makes you wonder, did Diddy build a family or did he build a system? One where loyalty is bought with silence, fame is used as a leash, and innocence, just another costume for the cameras. But if all that's true, if these daughters weren't just bystanders, but tools, then the Combs empire isn't just collapsing, it's rotting from within. And now all eyes are on the final layer of this scandal, because in Section 7, the story shifts from family drama to full-blown legacy destruction and trust. This next part might be the hardest to watch. Diddy first. It looked like Diddy's legal battles were just at his problem, but it's no longer just about him. The deeper investigators dig, the more it looks like the entire Combs brand is at risk. His family isn't just collateral damage anymore, they're part of the story. What started with quiet whispers about his behavior has grown into a storm of lawsuits, federal raids, and public takedowns. But now, the spotlight has turned to the people he once kept closest, his children. And the internet is no longer asking if they were involved. They're asking how much they knew, from Justin's alleged crimes to Christian's scandal aboard the yacht. From the twins' rumored role in silencing Ava to Chance's disturbing good girl image that may have been a disguise all along. Every piece of the puzzle paints a picture no one expected: a dynasty built on silence, loyalty, and maybe fear. The saddest part, Diddy once presented himself as a father first, a family man above all else. Countless interviews, lavish birthday posts, red carpet appearances where his kids look like royalty. But now, those same images feel like illusions, carefully staged scenes meant to distract from what might have been happening behind the curtain. Because what if none of them were truly innocent? What if they were all just pieces on a chessboard, some willingly playing along, others are scared to move? And as more lawsuits surface, more accusations drop, and more insiders speak out, the public's sympathy is disappearing fast. People once looked up to the Combs name. Now, it's becoming a cautionary tale, not just about fame, not just about power, but about how deep a legacy can fall when the lies start to rot the foundation. And if Jaguar Wright's words are even half true, then we're not just witnessing a celebrity scandal, we're watching an entire family unravel under the weight of what they helped protect. But before we close this chapter, one final question remains. Did he build an empire that once looked untouchable? Music, money, fame, family. On the outside, it was picture perfect. But now, that empire is cracking from every side. One by one, the people closest to him are being pulled into the spotlight not as victims of circumstance, but as possible players in the very machine that helped keep his world intact. Justin, Christian, the twins. Even Chance.01 expected the story to go this far. No one expected the kids, the ones we thought were protected, to be part of the fallout. And yet, here we are. A family that once symbolized Black excellence in entertainment now stands at the center of one of the most shocking downfalls in modern celebrity history. But maybe the most disturbing part isn't the lawsuits, or the rumors, or even the silence. Maybe it's the illusion, the way this entire family was presented to the world, like a brand, not a bloodline, like a performance. And now that the cameras are turning off, we're finally starting to see what was hidden behind. The Flash.so here's the question that lingers. Were Diddy's kids truly unaware, or were they just really good at playing their part? Let us know what you think in the comments. Do you believe Chance was ever innocent, or was she just quieter than the rest? Either way, one thing's clear. The truth is no longer hiding. It's chasing them fast. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell. More shocking celebrity truths are dropping, and you won't want to miss them.